So we're out driving around. You know, these are some of the first houses that I bought. Some that we've renovated and sold. Some that we built new construction. Some that I just own a bunch of land in and around this neighborhood. But it's kind of, you know, from when I really started taking off in the real estate business to where I am today, you know, this is an area that we focused on a lot. I just want to show you some of the projects that we're actually doing each and every day here in our market.
And you still live here, right?
I do. So I do live down here. I built a new construction house on one of the first land that I bought down here. So I built a new construction, moved into it about a year and a half ago. So, you know, some people talk about buying the block. You know, I say it jokingly, but I'm definitely trying to buy the block. So we're coming up on the first duplex that I own down here, which I was house hacking in. I was living in half of it, and I was renting the other side out. And I lived there for a year or two. Still own it today. It's something I just rent out to people and make money on it every single month. But it's the blue and gray brick double right there. So like I said, it's still something I own to this date. It's just something that it's cash flow for me now. You know what I mean? It's residual income. So every single month I get a paycheck with or without me doing anything to the property. So now we're coming up here. You know, I'm, like I said, driving you by some rehab, some new construction, some apartment buildings, all that I own down here. But this street, this is my favorite street. I own a lot of land. I've done a lot of new construction on it, and I've done some rehabs on it as well. It's cool, you know, seeing something that you built. You know what I mean? Being able to drive down the block and see houses that you've done, and you've provided good housing to people that wouldn't have been there without you. So that's a cool, surreal feeling. But surprising, no, because, you know, you always got a dream when you get started. You have goals that you want to make. So when you start hitting those goals, surprising is not the right word, but it's cool to see, you know, things actually come to fruition. So this is the street that I own a lot on. But right here on the right is a new construction house that we did. And then right here on the left, this gray one, is the first rehab I did on this block. We bought it, renovated it, sold it to an end buyer.
Do you remember what you bought it for?
I think I bought that for 60, put like 100 or 120 into it, and then sold it for a little over 300,000. So made a little over 6 figures net on that deal. This piece of land right here is a piece of land that I own. So that's just something I'm waiting to build on eventually, some new construction. And then this lot right here is a lot that I own as well. Same thing, just kind of hanging out, waiting till we build some new construction on it. We're coming up on this blue house right up here on the right. That's a lot, actually the first new build we ever did in this area. That house is the one we bought the land, built new construction, and then sold it to an end buyer that still lives there to this day. So that was a really cool property as well. So this area, we were the first ones to do new construction down here. So people were renovating houses and making a lot of money doing it, but nobody did new construction. There were 0 new constructions in this area. So I had the idea of buying every lot that I could. And before people start new construction, the houses are the lots are very, very inexpensive because there's no value to them. So I went through and bought, I think it was like 10 lots or something for extremely cheap, and then broke ground on 3 new constructions all at the same time, and sold all of those, made about 100 grand a piece on each of them. And then people started seeing that there was a market for new construction. So everybody came down here and started buying a whole bunch of land, and the prices went through the roof. But by that time, I already owned a ton of land down here. So some of them I developed, some of them I still own today. But it was something that I created and built the first ones, and then we continue to build new construction today. But that's the second new construction house that we did. It's one of the first 3 we did all at the same time. That one actually took the longest to sell. It was on the market for like 3 or 4 months afterwards. So I got a little bit nervous there for a second. And then right down here, if you look straight, you got a big bush right in the way, but if you look straight ahead, the house with gray vinyl siding was a renovation that we did. So we bought that house, gutted it all the way out to the studs, and renovated the entire thing top to bottom. The funny story about this house, this was at the point where this was completed, the closest I've ever came to losing money. So when I purchased the property, the plan was to make about $80,000, and it did not end up working out that way. So basically anything and everything that could go wrong went wrong on it. So that's why when you renovate houses, you have to have contingency budgets, and you have to buy at a certain point where there's a lot of profit. So if things go wrong, you don't end up losing money. But I bought this house, we gutted it out. We found out that the house was literally sliding off of the foundation, the entire thing. And the back addition that was put on was off of the foundation. So we had to rip off the rest of the back addition, they're called LVLs. I don't know what they stand for, but they're really sturdy beams. We put them all through the house, from the alley to the side yard, from side yard to side yard, bolted them together to the house, and literally lifted up the house and rebuilt the entire foundation. So we had the house hovering on its own, freestanding, knocked down the exterior walls, and then rebuilt all of the exterior walls all the way around, and then basically built an entire new construction home. So we did all that, and that's why we almost lost money on the deal, but we ended up walking away with I think it was $5,000 or $7,000 profit. So huge turn, took a lot more time than we thought, but we didn't lose money. So that's the positive there. This is another block that we're on. So if you look over here on the right, there's a gray house. That's the third of the first 3 new construction homes that we built down here. So that was a new construction. We built it and sold it. That green house was a house we bought, renovated, and sold before the new construction. Then if you look over here to the left,
I'll roll the window down.
So new construction gray, renovation green,
renovation.
and then this land over here on the left is another piece of land that I own that eventually we will build some sort of new construction work. So then if you look at this gray building, that's a building that I own as well. It's a 6-unit apartment building. I bought that the week before they actually announced this development over here, so kind of perfect timing. But it's something that I own to this day, and that the last unit actually, I'm doing an Airbnb in it. So it's the first time doing an Airbnb. We're about breaking even to what we would be doing if we were just to keep it as a rental property. But they're saying that what I've heard with other Airbnb owners is that right now is a very, very low season, the winter. But come spring, summer, and fall, the numbers are going to double or triple. So I'm testing it out. If it works, great. Over the next few months, I'll probably start turning some more units into Airbnbs. And if it doesn't work great, we'll go back to renting it out just as we normally would. So trying new things, you know what I mean? As different things come into the market, you got to be able to adjust and maximize your profitability on every deal. I don't know. I think we made $60,000 or $70,000 on that. If you look at this blue house right here, it's another house we bought, renovated, and sold.
This one right here?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is another perfect example. So we bought this planning to make about $90,000 on it. $90,000. And again, anything and everything that could go wrong went wrong. Blew budgets left and right. The contractors just didn't work out as we wanted them to. So we wasted a ton of money. Again, which is the difficult of buying real estate and flipping it. And that we went from 85 grand to $12,000 in profit. So we held it for over a year and a half. We planned on holding it for 6 months. So we're paying interest every single month on an additional 12 months. That adds up. You go over budget. You sell it for less than what you think you could sell it for. It adds up. You know what I mean? So that's a perfect example of what can go wrong in real estate. And then if you look right here, this duplex, this is a property that we bought, renovated, and sold. Looking back though, I wish it was one that I kept for a rental property, but you live and you learn. So that one, we sold it, I think made $45,000 or so on it. But multifamilies from now on, I'm keeping for myself. I'm not selling anymore. Flipping, you make really good money one time. But rental properties, you make way less money, but you make it for the rest of your life. So not selling multifamilies anymore. So this is another street that I bought as much land as I could from day one, and we built a few houses here. So this gray house was a new construction house. We bought, renovated. We didn't renovate it. We bought it, built new construction, and sold it. And this white one is the same thing. We bought, built it, and sold it. Story between those two. Those are the same exact houses. This white one
Okay,
right
whoa.
with the black. Funny story about those two houses. Those are the exact same houses, just flip-flopped with different finishes. And this house sold 7 months quicker than that house for $30,000 more. So there, you can't just assume because one thing sold, you're guaranteed for yours to sell the same way. You always got to build in profit margin to the deal, so when things don't go perfect as you had hoped and planned, you still make some money at the end of the day. So this gray one as well is a piece of land that we bought and built and sold that too. That is I think that's the highest new construction we've sold. I think we made $130,000, $140,000 on that deal. So yeah, I mean that's some of our projects. There's a lot of other projects down in this area and all around the city. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of take you guys through what we do every day, some projects that we've done, and show that this is actually possible. Like I said, at one point I had no knowledge of real estate. I had no knowledge of business. I had no knowledge of construction. And now at this point I've made a lot of money. I've built a great team around me. And if I had to, I could probably build a house, but I never want to do that. You know what I mean? I have teams around me that can build houses. So I'm taking my time and using it to go and acquire more deals and build a team and build businesses to make me more money than I ever could swinging a hammer. Is actually a new construction that we're doing right now.
This one right here?
Yep, the white one. So trying to get it wrapped up and get this one done and sold.
So this was just a parcel of land?
Yep, just a vacant parcel of land that we decided to do a new construction. So we're actually trying something new with this one. So normally there's a lot of new construction going up around here now, and it's all super high price points. Because people are trying to maximize the profitability, and they're buying the land for so much money that they have to sell it so high to make it profitable. There's a lot of competition out there. So for this, we're actually building a cheaper by about $150,000, $200,000 less on the sale price to the end consumer than most people around here. With that, obviously, the house isn't going to be as perfect and as nice and as many features in it because it's $150,000 to $200,000 less. But I think there's a market for it because it's more affordable. So again, this is something we're trying. There's not been a low-end new construction home sold, but we're giving it a try. Yeah. So hopefully it works. If it does, we got a bunch of other land down here that we're going to do it on. Yeah. But we're building this house, 100% completing it, and waiting until it sells to make sure it works. Or if it doesn't work, before we go and do 10 of them and risk it all. So we're kind of easing into something like this.